When I go to create a brand new form, I go to my Drive, I say New, and I find my forms. Mine are a little bit buried under that tuck down menu. It'll open up a very basic form, and the first thing I want to do is give it a name. I can either do that here in this field, or just like a Google Doc, I can click up there and give it a form. And we're going to make a form all about puffins. You see it renames it there. I can put a description in this field if I need to give any additional information. And then it starts with my first question. Before that, I want to make sure that I pay attention to whether this is clicked or not. If I want people only to access it that are within my domain, I could leave that clicked and it'll automatically collect their username. If I want it out to the general public, I'm going to unclick that so that it's not collecting usernames. And then if I want people's names, I need to add that in as a question to collect. Okay, I'm ready to create my first question. I'm going to start out very basic here. Where do puffins spend most of their time? I'm going to make this a multiple choice question. Option 1 is going to be on land. I'm just tabbing through to the next option. Out at sea. We're just going to give 2 choices there, and I'll say done. And then it shows what it's going to look like as a question, and I can add my next item. If I just click add next item, it automatically defaults to the same type of question that I used before. If I want to change my question type, I just go to this drop down arrow and I can see all my different choices. Text is one I use quite frequently. We'll do that one next. Tell me 3 important facts about puffins. Help text, I'm going to add in, make sure they are details from our text, and our text could be a video, it could be an article, it could be a website, any type. It's a text-based answer where they can just type, and I'm going to make this a required question, so they have to answer this and can't skip it. Next, let's look at the different types of questions you can ask. Remember, if I click add item, it defaults to the previous question type that I just did, so it would make it another text-based answer. But if I want a different format, I can do the drop-down arrow. There's text. Paragraph text just allows for a longer answer. Multiple choice we did already. Checkboxes means you can have more than one answer checked. Choose from a list is a drop-down menu. A scale is based on a 1 to 5 scale. Either I liked it a lot or I didn't like it at all, something like that. A grid is set up with columns and rows so that you can mark one answer on the grid for each row. Date and time. You can put in a section header to title each part of the form. You can add in a page break where it branches off onto different pages. You can ask questions about an image, or you can insert a video to ask a question about, but make sure if you're using that with students that they have access to the video. If I want to see what my form is going to look like when I share it with people, I can click View Live Form. When I do that, it takes me out to a live copy of the form. There's my multiple choice, there's my text-based answer, and I pre-typed an answer in to go faster. And I'm going to say submit just to test it out. And let's see where it goes. If I go back to my form, and I can see 2 people have responded already, and I just go here to view responses. It'll take me to the spreadsheet that Google automatically creates to go with your form. So as soon as someone responds to your form, a spreadsheet is created. Now, if I want to figure out where my form is stored, I can go back to my Drive, and I just look for what I titled it, and there it is right there in my Drive. If I can't find it, I can't remember where I put it, I can do a search up here in my search box, and it'll pop up, there's the form, there are the responses, and I can click there, and it opens up another copy of it. So no matter what you make, it's automatically saved, and the spreadsheet is automatically created for you. The last thing we need to know is how to get the form to people. So we come here to send form. This window pops open. I can either click and Control C to copy this long address, and I can send that to people or post it. I can shorten the URL so it's a little bit easier if somebody has to type it in to get to it, or I can just email it to people. This is how I would do it with my students, is just send it to the distribution list that I have made up for my students or type them in one by one. Here it defaults to include the form in the email. So when the student opens the email up, the form is already there. They can just click and type right there. If you unclick that, it'll send in an email the link to the video, and they'll click and it'll take them to a new window with the form in it. You can customize your message down here and then send.